Welcome to Data Engineering with Python and AWS Lambda live lesson. My name is Noah Gift and I'll be your instructor for this course along with Robert and Kennedy. I'm a machine learning instructor at Northwestern, UC Davis, UC Berkeley, and USF, and I've held business roles including CTO, General Manager, and Chief Architect. I'm the founder of Pragmatic AI Labs and I consult with startups on machine learning, AI, and cloud architecture. I'm also a Python Software Foundation Fellow, a subject matter expert for AWS on machine learning, and a cloud ambassador. I work closely with Google Education, and I'm a part of the Google Cloud Architect Certified community. I also wrote Pragmatic AI, an introduction to cloud-based machine learning, and many technical articles and videos from Pearson.
My name is Kennedy Behrman, and I am a consultant specializing in architecting and implementing cloud solutions for early-stage startups. I have a background in engineering, data science, AWS, and G-Cloud solutions, as well as acting as an O'Reilly author and instructor for Pearson.
Hi, my name is Robert Jordan. I'm a systems architect specializing in infrastructure as code and solutions for entertainment and media companies for the last 20 years. Currently, I hold certifications from AWS and GCP.
Let's get started. In lesson 1, we get started with AWS Lambda. This includes creating an AWS Lambda function, learning basic Lambda patterns, learning Lambda Management Console, and then finally uploading external code to AWS Lambda. In lesson 2, we use Cloud9 to develop Python Lambda functions. This includes setting up Cloud9, developing with Cloud9, launching Cloud9 and workspace configuration, importing Lambda functions, invoking Lambda functions, and invoking those same Lambda functions inside of API Gateway, and then finally deploying those Lambda functions. In lesson 3, we cover creating timed Lambda functions. This includes AWS Lambda with CloudWatch events, using Lambda to populate AWS SQS, using CloudWatch logging with AWS. In lesson 4, we create event-driven Lambdas. We create a producer Lambda function, we enable SQS triggers, we also have serverless data engineering architecture explained. In lesson 5, we cover learning SAM local. This includes SAM local inside of a function and also SAM local with packaging and deployment, and then SAM local with IAM and also environmental variables. In lesson 6, we cover how to use AWS Glue. This includes what is AWS Glue and also how to use it in the context of a data engineering project. In lesson 7, we create state machines with step functions. We learn step functions, then we cover the state language. We also do a demo of step functions. In lesson 8, we cover step functions with AWS services. This includes how to integrate those step functions with AWS products, how to use DynamoDB with step functions, how to use AWS ECS Fargate with step functions, and then finally, how to use an AWS callback pattern. In lesson 9, we cover serverless relational databases. This is how to use AWS Aurora Serverless, how to use a data API for Aurora Serverless, how to actually use stored procedures to invoke a Lambda inside of Aurora. In lesson 10, we cover how to build an API using API Gateway. This includes using API Gateway, integrating Lambda and API Gateway best practices. In lesson 11, we cover how to authenticate APIs with AWS Cognito. We begin with Cognito authentication, we cover Cognito user pools, and we also talk about Cognito authentication with API Gateway and federated identity. In lesson 12, we use serverless data stores. This includes DynamoDB for data engineering, using Amazon Athena for data engineering, using Amazon EMR for data engineering, using Amazon EFS for data engineering. In lesson 13, we create serverless business intelligence and AutoML learning solutions. This includes Amazon QuickSight, Lambda with AI APIs, integrating Lambda with SageMaker. In lesson 14, we create serverless data streaming. This includes Kinesis streams and also computer vision streams. In lesson 15, we cover case studies. This includes comparing AWS Lambda with Google Cloud Functions, using GCP Cloud Functions with PubSub and Cloud Scheduler, using the Chalice framework, pushing versus pulling architecture, the principles of DevOps, the principles of cloud computing, a summary of serverless computing, managing packages in AWS Lambda, and finally, multi-cloud solutions. In Lesson 16, we cover the course summary, and we go over in detail how all of these lessons tie together.